Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. It's another paid request, this time from Durst Momsen for Life. Thank you so much for that. If anyone wants to request any type of videos, topic, tier list, commentary, review, video DM let's try, playthrough, re-review, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Seed, the 2007 film directed by Uwe Boll. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Although apparently he is trying to make movies again. I guess he made a movie or two a little bit ago. But for a bit there he kept quiet. Other than maybe a couple like Rampage sequels. He kept quiet for a bit. Just because that gold or Nazi gold or whatever the hell will finance your projects even though they'll bomb to some kind of incentive with the government, German government. I forget what the details were. Disney kind of ran its course for a bit. But Uwe Boll, who I always called ooh-wee, you see his films, you go ooh-wee, ooh-wee. I remember when I first started on YouTube, some of the early reviews I did was Uwe Boll films. And to the point that there were two documentaries made on Uwe Boll. One of them I'm in. Like a small bit of my review of Postal from like, I don't know how long ago. Maybe 14, 15 years ago at this point. And the other documentary had the guys from Dead Pit, the CT and Uncle Bill in it. So again, if you see one of those documentaries, one of the two, I'm in for a teeny bit. Because I think he's a terrible director. There's been a handful of films that I did not mind from him. The first Rampage and Assault on Wall Street, I did not mind for what they were. They're not films I rewatch. But based on Uwe, didn't mind them. But House of the Dead, Alone in the Dark, Far Cry, Postal I hate, Tunnel Rats I did not like, Blood Rain, Blubberella, was that what it was called? I forget. This, I honestly thought was one of his worst ones. While you just say Alone in the Dark is more incompetent, House of the Dead is more goofy in what he was trying to do, I would rather watch those. I would rather watch House of the Dead and Alone in the Dark because I can laugh at it and be kind of confused by it and go, well, that's strange, and just more of the bizarre badness that's more interesting to me. This is much more of the cheaper, downbeat, grisly shits that apparently I looked up. This cost $10 million? That has to be a lie. There's no way this could have cost $10 million. That must have been a misprint. It had to have been a misprint. It had to be. It had to be. This did not look like it cost $1 million, let alone $10 million. So I don't know. Maybe that was for his fillet the numbers. And I do mean fillet because it does suck dick. The first 2 minutes of the movie is real animal killings. I guess it was footage from PETA. I forget what the animal was. But it's like this furry creature and they're being stomped on and skinned and killed. I didn't watch most of it. It's about 2 minutes. So I guess if you ever do see it, just skip the first 2 minutes. Maybe 3 minutes just to be sure. Although if you do, you'll skip the stupid text that says, apparently, If you're in prison and you're in the electric chair, if you survive 3 jolts, you'll be set free. Which is not true and is total bullshit. But let me not skip over the real animal killing. Because I'm sure the director would say, well, it's about a theme about nihilism. Or just how awful this person is. Just he's watching this footage. And it's how little he cares about anything humanity. And that's horror. Isn't that what horror is, folks? Horror is to horrify. Is to showcase the darker regions and of the human psyche. Because a real pure soul of evil would watch this for entertainment. I'm like, yeah, you got a point. Yeah, that's horror. But it's also horror bowl shock value. There are plenty of ways to showcase a character being evil without the shock value of let me see real animals die. I mean, if you really want to do that, then make with special effects, makeup effects. Make your own video of him killing animals and doing all this stuff and use makeup effects. Why don't you do that with your, if it's a $10 million budget, use that. Why don't you use that? Why don't you do that? No. It's for shot value, because if I show this, it's going to get people talking. Get people talking, demoralizing the product. Demoralize the product in the terms of, I don't want to see it, but what is it? Oh my god. Or when people do see it, then they write about it. Oh my god, it was so awful, so terrible. So they make these big, grandiose statements you're hoping for in reviews that get more curiosity to see your crappy product. It's shot value. It's lazy shot value. Never should an animal be killed for... It wasn't killed for the movie, to be fair. I did its footage by PETA, so it's not that. Like, they killed it for the movie. But you don't need to show that stuff. I don't want to see that stuff. There's an 80s slasher film called Slaughterhouse that kind of shows stuff at the beginning. I don't need to see that crap. I don't. It's not needed. It's not wanted. You do it by filmmaking, by directing, by writing. Well, Uwe can't, but do it by other measures. If you show real animals killed in any way, I have no respect for you, especially as a filmmaker. You're shot jock. That's all you're doing. For cheap heat, as they call it wrestling. Cheap heat. What town you're in? You suck. You cheap heat. So after that, for like 2 minutes, which I wish I'd never saw, I skipped most of it, but I saw some of it because if I saw this film before, I didn't remember a damn thing about it. So I hate that stuff. I can't help it. Let's move on. It's 8 minutes in. Then this text of, if you survive 3 jolts for the electric chair, you'll be set free. How stupid does that sound? And of course, no, it's not true. But it's like, okay, if you're a murderer that was proved, no, you're not going to be set free. You're going to be given probably a lethal injection, or you're going to be given something else. But you're not going to be set free. What, they thought it was Double Jeopardy? Is that what the director was thinking of? Double Jeopardy? It's not the same damn thing, you idiot. Dumbass. So then we have Michael Pare. And I know Michael Pare likes Uwe Boll. He's been in some of his films. And it's not like Michael Pare's didn't work in many other places. But come on, Michael Pare, you could do better than this. You were in Eddie and the Cruisers. You're in this film called Into the Sun with Anthony Michael Hall that was actually pretty good. You don't need to be in Uwe Boll films, man. Maybe the guy paid you well, but man, he's slumming it. I don't even think his performance is that great. Probably doesn't help that the script sucks. The first time we see him is like this dream on a bus. It was like, oh look, it's the serial killer. What the hell, Prey? Like, you do act better than this. But then you got Uwe Boll. You probably can't. Look how many actors Uwe Boll has got in movies and they give like their terrible performances. In The Name of the King, he's got like Jason Statham and Burt Reynolds, and in one movie as Michael Madsen, and it's like giving off their worst performances. Uwe Boll's not going to do anything to direct actors. And The Name of the King 2 is one of Dolph Lundgren's worst movies. He just brings it out of people. Uwe. So then Michael Pare they haven't caught the killer yet. And this killer has these videos that Pare's watching where the killer will film things being starved to death. So there's a cockroach. Granted, I don't like cockroaches, but still, I don't want to see. Okay, if they're in my home, I'll kill them. If not, then they're not bugging me. Literally and figuratively, so leave them alone. I'm a rat. And it's like, okay, are they using like a real rat? And then they're showing footage of a real rat through time becoming nothing. And then a dog. And there's a dog, and you see this kind of time lapse of it dissolving into nothing but bones. Then they do that for a baby. Then they do that for a woman. So we want to see a baby and a woman die, and then this time lapse of them dissolving and maggots and to bones. You say that's horror. Yeah, that's horror. The animal stuff, I mean, I don't know how much of that was done for real, because I don't trust Uwe Boll. Or if he bought footage, was that from PETA as well? The rooster must have heard that. Don't worry, no chickens were killed in the making of this movie, so you don't have to worry about that at least. I guess he was asking the question. No, trust me, there were no roosters, or chickens, or hens. You're welcome. But yeah, I mean, at least with the baby and okay, it's done with special effects. I'm assuming. If not, then this will be a whole other review. It's not like I find much information on this film. I know. That's my fault, but I'm doing the best I can. Sorry. But it's one of those things where it goes on for so long. For me, like, the longer it goes, the less ghastly it becomes, in a weird way. There's one scene in particular that absolutely exemplifies that, which I'll get to. So then he did somehow they did a warrant, because I guess somehow, see, now they're freaking out, because they know, I'm talking about Uwe Boll, so they get pissed, that's why. Oh well, most people get pissed if they watch. You didn't have to watch it at least, so shut up. But most people are pissed at Uwe Boll. I don't blame them. So somehow, like, they don't even explain properly, like, how they got the warrant and they got a lead. But how did they get a lead? How did that lead come about? Michael Pereira Cooper cops go to where the killer's at, and the killer kills them. How he kills them, I don't know, because you can barely see anything. There's one that a trap, and something comes and hits a guy in the head. One you hear what sounds like a drill, but you don't see anything. Other kills you don't see anything. There's no light. It's like dark and you can't see squat. Because you know when you're doing a slasher film and it's supposed to be a group of people getting killed, film it so there's no lights and you can't see anything. That's always the way to do it, right? But that's how Uwe does it. So there's only Michael Prey left, and he kicks the killer. Says, "I could kill you right now." So what's the message? You should have. That's the message. Every cop killed the killer. Well, maybe that's a good message. I don't know. But then it wants to be like, after they electrocute the guy and it fails and they bury him alive, they're like, "Oh, that was the bad thing to do." No, that was the bad thing to do. I'm like, no, not murdering him was the bad thing to do. So I don't even know if Uwe knows what the hell his message is for his movie. And also the direction, for some reason at times, especially like the electrocution scene, the camera, imagine this is the camera, it's going like this. So you're making you dizzy and nauseous. The camera's like going like this, like it's on an ocean. I guess to be more gritty. So because they shot him 3 times, they lie, pronounce that he's dead, but then they bury him alive. I'm sitting there going, why are you burying him alive? Okay, they want him to suffer, but just slit his throat. Just shoot him in the head. Just cut his guts open. They don't cut his guts open. It'll take a while to die. You put him in a coffin, no one else is going to see him there. No, they just decide to bury him alive. Then he breaks out like his Kill Bill Volume 2. And kills a couple of the people. One of them is Rolf Moeller. He's been alive. He was in a couple action films back in the day. He was the first Universal Soldier. You know, the one, the Unisol that's in the truck. And the guy puts the grenade in his hand. And he closes it. And the guy can't get it out. And then the inside of the truck blows up. But I don't think he's dead yet. Because like he's the one eating the raw meat. And then he's driving when Dolph Lundgren's on the truck trying to get Van Damme in the bus. I think that's still Ralph Moeller. But yeah, he gets impaled. Another guy gets electrocuted. One gets like his lips bitten and pulled under. So those 3 die. We see a little bit of Michael Paray's home life with his wife and his daughter. The daughter, I think, is the girl in the first Silent Hill movie. And for certain, like, maybe it's just me. She has popcorn, but it looks like in a dog bowl. Like she's eating popcorn, but it looks like in a you think of a bowl, typical bowl. This looks like a dog bowl. Like what bowls do we have? We got a dog bowl. Okay, put the popcorn in the dog bowl, and she'll eat it from the dog bowl. That's what it looked like. So that kind of made me laugh, but it wasn't on purpose. It'll then cut to the killer's backseat, who, oh yeah, that was another. When he got arrested, apparently he killed 666 people. I mean, not that that mattered. Just not like, well, he made a deal with the devil and he came back from the dead. No, you just buried alive and he said, I'm getting out of here, screw it. It'll cut to this random woman, don't know who she is. Don't know how the killer got her. Don't know how the killer got here. It's one stationary shot where she's in a chair, tied up. The killer takes like the edge of a hatchet or something and does this. Oh, 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 And then as it goes on, he keeps getting more and more smacks to awful CGI. Like, the idea is to be horrific that this person mutilized this woman for 3 minutes straight without cutting. But when you. The beginning is these love taps that look more goofy than anything. And then when you do the hard smacks, it's obviously bad CGI. Where her head starts looking like a CG bobblehead. And the idea is that he keeps hitting her and then sometimes hitting her with the edge of the axe, and less of her face is there and blood splattering on the walls. But again, it looks so stupid and ridiculous because of the CGI, and because it goes for so long, you get desensitized to it. That's what Uwe Boll doesn't realize. The longer you hold a shot, people get desensitized. Especially to a shitty CGI shot. So you get bored. And you get desensitized to it. And you just look like bad. I repeat it. So somehow if Uwe sees it, maybe he get the hint. Won't do it once or twice, maybe thrice. So Michael Prey finds out that his family's in trouble. And what that woman had to do with anything, where she came from, I don't know. But there were cops at his place. They're found dead in the bathtub, looking like really fake mannequins. Finds where his wife and kid are at. The killer makes him choose. And the wife has the right idea. No, he doesn't make them choose. Well, he does make him have a choice, but the killer wants him to shoot himself. And the wife's like, no, don't do it. Don't want to kill us anyway. And the wife is right. And then Michael Prey's like, come on, you want to kill me? You shoot me here. You leave him alone. But then kills the woman, the mom, the wife with the nail gun. Ready to kill the kid. Michael Prey goes, no, I'll do it. Shoots himself. I did it. He's in turmoil. He's not in the best emotional state of affairs. But he still made a really stupid decision. Because then, of course, the killer doesn't let the girl go. He puts the daughter in the same room with her dad, who's dead. Locks the door. So either A, she's going to starve and try to eat her dad, or B, she's going to starve to death, just like we saw in... Like in Michael Prey. This is how I mean by him being stupid. You saw videos that he let a baby starve to death. But you think he's going to let your daughter go. Use your gun and go in and shoot him in the head. Because your daughter's going to be dead either way. Like, you know by what you saw in those videos what kind of person this guy is. But it's to have this downer ending, because it's horror and brutal. It's brutal, bro. It's brutal. It's brutal, bro. You're brutal, Uwe. Brutal as a director. Sucking ass. I hate that he's making movies again. I looked at his Wikipedia. Apparently he has a couple in the pipeline. That's a shame. He should never direct again. He's a terrible director. I mean, in terms of staging of scenes, where some scenes are way too dark. The person being killed for 3 minutes, you get bored with it, and the effects are awful. So you don't even have that impact. Just like this goofy CG bobblehead. The acting is garbage. Michael Prey has nothing to work with but being wild-eyed sad, and doesn't give that great of a performance. The killer, I mean, his look doesn't really doesn't distinguish itself from anybody. I guess he was burnt in a school bus crash back in the day. Wears the sack on his face. But nothing about him in terms of personality, in terms of backstory, in terms of even methods of killing is all different. Other than once in a while he has someone starve. And it felt like it was a lot of build up, and then when he escapes, kills a couple people, and then the end. So, and then it's downbeat, and it's pointless, and it just... I guess maybe you can like some of the kills, maybe? But there's a 50... Hell, 500 slasher films that you can get that out of. So what the hell do you get out of this movie other than a headache? And to see real animals die at the beginning. And I hate this movie. This is up there with Postal as some of the worst Uwe Boll films I've seen. It really is. And you know what? I almost want to say this is the worst Uwe Boll film I've seen. I almost want to say I'd rather watch Postal than this. Maybe I do. I don't know. I don't like Postal at all either for different reasons, but yeah, I probably would rather. If I had to pick, I would watch Postal than this. I probably would, because it's just a. Yeah, it's mean spirited because of the kind of. But it's not even well done either. It's like, ooh, I did all these video game movies. Let me show how tough and brutal I am. No, it just shows you such with a different coat of paint. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.